Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that every single online business owner has to deal with: returns. We're going to pull back the curtain on e-commerce return rates and show you how to turn what feels like a total headache into a massive win for your brand.
But let's kick things off with a question that, well, it might hit a little close to home. Are you ever looking at your numbers wondering where all the profit is going? If so, getting a handle on your returns isn't just a good idea, it's one of the most important things you can do for your bottom line.
All right, so here's the game plan for today. We'll start with the basics. What even is a return rate? Then we'll dig into why customers send stuff back in the first place and what that's really costing you. After that, we'll get practical: how to measure your own rate, specific strategies to lower it, and then we're gonna flip the whole thing on its head and ask if returns can actually be a good thing. Okay, first things first, before we can fix anything, we've got to be on the same page about what we're actually measuring. So let's lock in this core metric. So the rate of return, or ROR, is really simple. It's just the percentage of stuff you sold that people sent back. You can almost think of it like a health check for your online store. It's telling you a story about everything from your product quality to how well your photos match reality. Now, a super important thing to remember is that there's no magic number here. Your return rate is going to vary a lot. It really depends on two big things: what you're selling, clothes are always going to have higher returns than, say, coffee mugs, just because of fit, and how flexible your return policy is. A really easy policy might get you more returns, but as we're going to see, it can also create some of your happiest and most loyal customers. So we know what a return rate is, but the real million-dollar question is, why? Why do people send things back? If you can understand the psychology behind it, you're already halfway to solving the problem, and it usually boils down to three key drivers. We're going to look at these three big buckets. First, just the normal habits of how people shop online today. Second, those predictable spikes you see throughout the year. And third, the nitty-gritty reasons tied to what kind of products you actually sell. First up, there's this thing called bracketing, and I am willing to bet you've done this yourself. It's when you buy, say, a shirt in a medium and a large, knowing full well you're going to send one back. And this isn't some rare thing. A whopping 63% of us do it. Shoppers have basically turned their living rooms into a personal fitting room, and it's your business that's handling all the back and forth. Then, of course, you've got the calendar. It's as predictable as the holidays themselves. Right after a big gift-giving season, the returns come flooding in. It just makes sense, right? Unwanted gifts, impulse buys from a Black Friday sale. The data shows it clearly. The return rate jumps up to almost 18% during the holidays. And finally, let's look at the actual reasons people click when they start a return. Wrong size, color, or fit is a classic for apparel. Product not as described is a huge one across the board, and honestly, this feedback is pure gold. It's like your customers are giving you a free to-do list telling you exactly what to fix, whether it's adding a better size chart or taking more honest product photos. Okay, so we know why it's happening, but let's talk money. What is all this really costing your business? Because I can tell you it's a lot more than just the sticker price of the item. Okay, brace yourself for this next number. The entire process of getting an item back, checking it, and getting it ready to be sold again, that's called reverse logistics. And that whole process can cost up to 66% of the item's original price. Let that sink in. That is a huge chunk of your margin just gone. And it's not just the shipping costs. Customer expectations are, they're through the roof. The vast majority of people expect a super fast refund, and they definitely expect you to offer free return shipping. I mean, look at that. Nearly half of all shoppers check your return policy before they even decide to buy from you. Meeting these expectations isn't optional anymore. It's the standard. And if all that wasn't enough, here's the real kicker. Even after you spend all that time and money to get a product back, there's a good chance you can't even sell it for what you used to. In fact, only 48%, less than half, of returned items can be put back on the shelf at full price. The rest, it gets marked down, or worse, just written off. All right, I know, that all sounds pretty bleak, but here's the good news. You can't fix what you can't measure. So the very next step is to figure out your own numbers. It's actually way simpler than it sounds, and it can tell you so much about your business. So first, you've got to split things up. Let's talk refund rate. This is when a customer just wants their money back, plain and simple. If this number is high, it's a huge red flag. It's basically your customers telling you, hey, this product wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But then you have your exchange rate. And this tells a completely different and much happier story. This is when a customer sends something back, but gets another product in its place. A high exchange rate can actually be a fantastic sign. It means the customer liked your brand enough to give you another shot. That's loyalty in action. Okay, time to get practical. We've diagnosed the problem, we know how to measure it, so what can we actually do about it? Here are 5 real, concrete steps you can take in your store, like right now. Let's run through them. Step 1, understand the why. Treat that return reason data like the treasure map it is. Step 2, describe your products with insane detail. Think videos, multiple angles, super clear size charts. Set the right expectations. Step 3, offer alternatives. Don't just default to a refund, make an exchange or store credit the easiest, most attractive option. Step 4, make your policy obvious. No one should have to hunt for it. And finally, step 5, simplify the actual process. Make it incredibly easy for your customers. And I really want you to focus on that last step because this is huge. A mind-blowing 96% of customers will buy from you again if they have an easy return experience. Let me say that again. An easy return isn't just about cutting your losses. It's one of your single best tools for making sure customers come back again and again. Okay, for this last part, I want you to forget everything we just talked about. Well, not everything, but just for a second, forget about reducing returns. I know, it sounds crazy, but what if a certain amount of returns is actually a sign of a healthy, thriving business? Let's totally reframe this. Just take a look at this. On one side, you have a store with a really strict, difficult policy. Sure, their return rate might be super low, but they're probably also ticking off customers who will never shop there again. On the other side, you have an easy, customer-friendly policy. It builds confidence. It might lead to a slightly higher rate, but it also creates way more loyalty in the long run. And listen to this, because this quote from David Solby, a co-founder of Happy Returns, just flips the whole idea on its head. He says, your most profitable customers are often the ones who return stuff the most. Why? Because they're the ones who are buying the most. They feel confident enough to try new things because they know if it doesn't work out, you've got their back. That trust is just priceless. So that's what I really want to leave you with. The next time you're looking at your return numbers, I want you to ask yourself this one question. Are these returns just a cost you have to swallow? Or are they an incredible opportunity to build trust, show your customers you care, and earn their loyalty for life?